Well, it's good morning from Eswatini, Africa, and we're bringing greetings to you, our friend Alan Brown, and all those in the Stoll Family Foundation who may be watching and receiving this information. We are Doug and Margaret Eaton, and we have an important request to make of you today.
I say hello to you from Eswatini. We have been here now for over a year. We love it here. We love the people. It's a beautiful country, but there are a lot of poor people that need a lot of help.
And I think you might know the role from being briefed by Alan, but we are part of a partnership that began now over 10 years ago. We're in our 11th year. And it's a partnership that originated from our local church in Bethany, Oklahoma, Bethany First Church of the Nazarene. You will hear the term from time to time, BFC partnership. So we began by responding to a deep medical crisis here in this country. You might know that Swaziland, now Eswatini, has been for years the world's deepest dive into the HIV AIDS crisis. It's much improved today, but yet it is still the #1 country in HIV prevalence in the world. So we as a church decided that we should do something about it. So as many churches, we had work and witness programs going various places in the world. And so our pastor led us in an initiative to create this partnership and consolidate all of those other initiatives into this one country back in 2008.
We came with a work and witness group in 2010 and then again in 2013. And when the need came for on-site coordinators for 2018 and 19, we felt God telling us this is what you're supposed to do in retirement.
So you might be asking, what's an on-site coordinator? Well, part of the partnership design was that a volunteer couple would come to the country and live here year-round. So we're the 10th in a row. We decided to do it for 2 years. What we do is match up resources with needs. We also do hosting and management of projects and visits from both individuals and teams.
We work with the churches, we work with the hospital and the 20 clinics and the schools. Like Harmon Smelsenbaugh, his vision way back there was to meet their needs with spiritually, medically, and education.
And the reason for the request today is a component of that. When we started this work in this country 109 years ago, of course, there were no churches of the Nazarene. There were no Nazarenes at all. And over the years now, we have now 160 churches plus some preaching points. And we have about 16,500 Nazarene members. Alan Brown is a lifelong Nazarene. Some of you might know about the Church of the Nazarene, but it is a very center line church. We are an Apostles' Creed church. We were founded by a pastor in Los Angeles, Phineas F. Brzee, who is credited for bringing a number of small church organizations together back at the turn of the 20th century. So we have a great desire for people to know Jesus, to follow Jesus, to be mentored and developed in their faith. And that's what our churches do. Here in this country, most of our churches are very, very poor. We have heard many testimonies from these people who are selling vegetables, who are giving a pittance of offering each week. And then when there's enough accumulated, they buy concrete blocks, hire somebody who knows how to do it, and they build their little churches a little bit at a time.
And the pastors, some of them aren't even paid for their work with the churches, but they feel the call of God on their hearts. And so it's our privilege to be able to come beside these people and do what we can to help them.
And so what we know is when a small church has a partner, and that 5 or 10 or 15-year project gets completed in a few months, the church explodes. We have seen it with our own eyes. Last year, a church was finished, and now, less than 6 months later, the attendance and, of course, the preaching of the gospel is to double the amount just 6 months ago. So we know that our request today is well-founded. We don't know really if you will consider making a partnership effort with us here in this country, because we understand that most of your efforts are in the United States. So we are praying that you will make an exception, try it, and let us guide you in becoming a partner to these small churches.
And we'd love for you to come over and see with your own eyes.
We certainly
this
would.
Beautiful country.
So here are the projects we'd like you to consider. This first one, the Matombi Church of the Nazarene, very young. You can see that they have advertised the Jesus film, had a great result. This is the team that met us that day. The next church is the Mugwanya Church of the Nazarene. You can see they had a false start. Now they're under that shelter. They are progressing with the latrines out in the back. You can see they have started their foundation. What a great group of people. The guy in the red is their lay pastor who's leading this charge. The next one is the Luhawini Church. This has a professional builder. That little brick building is where they meet now. And they've purchased all the blocks they need to do the walls. They're ready to go. The next one is the Kaliba Church. It's an old church, and they recently have been fired up. This is the inside of that church. Concrete, really in pretty good shape. They'll use it. So you can see the outline of the foundation. And here's the little group that met us that day. Take note of these comments from one of the old members.
I say this, a domestic contractor from the local member of the church. And even then, because there's no industry on site, so they just depend on maybe selling chicken, if that has got a chicken, maybe a pig, those who have got pigs. And then the donation, it doesn't come stable. Sometimes this week is slow, that week, we can see now, we can quickly go and buy, then we just go and buy, and we bring the contractor, he come and do that.
Yeah.
I mean, your contractor, if you say is with his material and this and that, that will be a blessing.
And our last one is the Tabam Sloslana Church. That old shack is where they've met for 20 years. This is what they've done so far. They're quite far along, but it's still dirt on the inside. They need quite a bit of help to finish this church out.
Thank you for considering these 5 worthy projects.
It's been a privilege visiting with you today. I hope you know that if you participate with us, lives that otherwise would not be touched will be changed forever.
Sani Bonani.
Indeed.